Too good. Welcome to the podcast, Vinny Lo.
Thank you, Mr. Armstrong. Thank you for having me.
No worries. Welcome to the Arm Wrestle, live from Oscar Hunt Studios here in Tenerife. Now, thanks for having us. Thanks for coming on the show today, Vinny.
Thank you for having me. I think my pleasure to be part of your podcast, and having you as a friend is really an honor.
Oh, it's beautiful, mates. And one of the reasons why I want to have you on board is your energy.
Yeah.
People love your energy, your enthusiasm, and when they come in to see you or they talk to you on the phone, they feel good. Well, I feel good afterwards.
Oh,
and
thank you.
All those people, and energy is something that's very hard to find in people. So we love what you do. So, Vinny, take us back. You moved to Brisbane in, I think you were saying 2018.
So I'm Vietnamese. So I born in Vietnam. Spent most of my life in Singapore.
Yes.
I came to Australia in 2017. First was Sydney. We lived there for a year and a half, and then Brisbane.
The whole family, or?
My wife and I. So my wife and I, we moved to Sydney together.
Yes.
But yeah.
From Singapore?
From Vietnam at that point.
Oh, from Vietnam. So
yes.
Vietnam, Singapore, back to Vietnam.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And you were saying before the podcast, what took you to Singapore was your parents had a shoe business.
So my dad, mom have a shoe business. So dad making shoe, we have a factory, we have 2 shop fronts, and very, very pleasure they was able to send me to Singapore for me to study.
Yes.
So I spent 12 years there.
What did you study?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Oh, mate, we're in trouble then if you're not sure.
I wasn't very good at school, that's for sure. I did high school there, and I did a diploma
Yes.
in costume design.
But something, really? There you go.
Yeah, costume
And
design.
you finished the diploma?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
My dad didn't know I studied costume, so he thought I did IT for the first 2 years.
Oh, man, really?
Yeah.
How did he find out?
The last year, so he was
yeah.
like, so we gotta look for a job. So
Yes.
what are you good at? Ooh, I studied theater costume. And my dad, I think, when you go too angry and you can't do anything,
Yes.
and you just accept the fact that I'm not doing anything in IT.
Yes.
But yeah.
Oh, there you go. But where does the customer service side, obviously that's one of your strong points. Does that come back from your parents, or is that something you learned from a young age, or when they were going and selling these shoes? Do you think that's where you sort of got it from?
Yeah, I think growing up, because I spent a lot of time with them, because the house was the office, and then the shop front in the city. So spend a lot of time with mom and dad, go to the shop with them. You can see how dad was run the shop, talk to the customer, and mom basically have a lot of friends, and the client become friends. And I think when you have something genuine and it's a benefit, not just you but also your client.
Yes.
You don't have that salesy mentality.
Yeah.
I think
100%.
that's what I learned. However, when I grow up, when I get into this business, is for you to go long term, I think having that relationship is everything.
Yes.
First of all, we're making something out of nothing.
Yes.
You came here before, I think what, 6 months, 7 months ago?
Yeah, well, and a lot of, we get approached by a lot of tailors, a lot of suit people.
Yeah.
And I always say, no. And then James from our team had come to see you. I think
Yes.
you'd reached out prior to, and he said he's a really good guy. And then
Yes.
next thing you know, I'm talking to someone else who knows you.
Yes.
And then someone else who knows you. And then Jace Pearson who knows you. And then I'm like, how does this guy know everyone? He literally knows everyone. So that's a real compliment to yourself and what you're doing here.
No, thank you. I guess same with you when we in business, or especially in the sales role, knowing people is one thing, but also how can you keep the relationship?
Yes.
I think it's easy to say we have a relationship. But the hardest part of about relationship is how can you maintain that? How can you add on value to that relationship? That's the tough part.
And being genuine as well.
Yes. So,
Well,
yeah.
And we're sitting here today in this studio, which used to be used to be an auctioneer room.
Yes.
So it brings back a few memories. I've bought properties for clients at auctions here, and I've been to a couple of auctions. But people love coming in here. You give them an experience, don't you?
Yes. I would tell my client when they first came to the shop, I try my best for you not to feel like a shop, because I hate shopping myself. What I hate about shopping is you go in and you don't feel like you belong there, and you feel like you have the pressure to spend. Where people that are coming in here, I think it's almost like you welcome someone to your house, and you have to acknowledge that, first of all, they're making their time to come in. Second of all is, driving and parking. So first you got to acknowledge that and just welcome them, because people can go anywhere they want, right? If they choose to come here, and you just have to welcome them and in the most genuine way possible.
But you got competition. A lot of it's all online as well. People, they probably think they can order stuff online, but coming here and being looked after and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's same with, like I tell some of my colleagues in this business, I guess the end of the day is, it's almost like you go to a restaurant, right? You can order your food online right now, you get the meal and you can eat it and you're done. But when you go to a restaurant, it's more than just a meal. You go to the experience.
Experience, yeah.
You want to go to you talk to the guy that runs the spa, and you're like, oh, I'm feeling taken care of. He say, when I like to go to a restaurant, I like when people say, oh, I think that's enough of food. I think that's great for you. You want that advice rather than just, oh, this is what I have.
Yeah. And going back to, growing up in Vietnam and stuff like that, how did it differ to move from Vietnam to Singapore? Obviously, they're sort of worlds apart. How did you transition?
I think when I was young, it's mostly you do what you get told by your parents.
Yes.
Your dad would be like, hey, mate, let's go to Singapore. I was like, okay, see you later.
Does he speak Aussie slang too, does he, your dad? Or?
Yeah.
Hey, mate, we're going to Singapore.
Yeah. In the Vietnamese way.
Yeah.
But I think as a 12 years old boy, you just do it.
Yeah.
Just do what you can. And then the first year was exciting, as every young kid would do. You get to a new country, get excited. It's only tough, I think, either the second year or third year when you realize you're there by yourself.
Yes. Any siblings or?
Yeah, I have a younger sister.
Yeah. Where is she living?
She's in Vietnam right now with mom and dad. Have kids and great.
Yes.
But yeah.
And you get back to Vietnam again, or?
Yes, after COVID, we go back once a year. We go again Christmas.
Yeah.
With my wife.
Oh, this year?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
lovely. Yeah.
Can't wait.
That's awesome. Yeah. And the food, mate. I'm mouth watering thinking about the food.
Yeah. Oh man.
Parents good cooks, or you eat out a lot, or?
We eat. What was it when we back home? We eat with moms a lot. However, we still go out just to enjoy.
And are there any Vietnamese local restaurants in Brisbane you can recommend?
So nearby is a Fat Pho on Commercial Road.
Yes.
Go there and ask for Miss Hong. She will take care of you. And people would say Inala.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot over in Anala way, doesn't there?
Yeah. You can't go wrong over there. Love Viet food.
Have you been to Luke Nugent's Fat Noodle in the casino there?
No, I
think he's Vietnamese. Or,
yes.
Yeah. He's very good. It's beautiful. Sort of updated sort of street food.
Yep.
Which is popular.
I think that's what I had to respect him, because he put the Vietnamese onto the map.
Yes.
But also elevate the food.
Yeah, well, he's it's beautiful. Some of the best food, honestly. Full barramundis, the pho's, the Singapore noodles. I had Singapore noodles and Moreton Bay bugs. Just superb, and just a very short, small menu. So
man.
Anyway, my mouth's watering. I have to get some fat photo tonight, mate. So yeah.
I have to work after this.
You have
Thanks,
to work.
mate.
You're always working. So coming back to your work side of things, you generally have an appointment that lasts for roughly around an hour?
Yes. So how it work with us is we go by appointments. Let's just say you want a suit. For us, it takes 6 weeks to make the suit.
Yes.
However, I would tell my client it take about 2 to 3 months. It's not the process of making the suit, but it's the process of how can we get to know each other well enough, and I need to earn that trust from you.
Yes.
And that take time, and it take, doesn't matter how long, but I always say we never say trust me here in the showroom.
Yes. I have heard you say trust me before, so that's a lie.
Oh, okay. That's a wow.
No, mate, you say, I'm just joking, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you got to earn that, and then so you book it in. We have a chat. So the first hour is always get to know you, what's the suit for, and when we make something, it's not just the quality that need to last, but also the style. So, we get to know you, the room that you're getting in, who are you as a person.
Yes.
So we want you to be comfortable in the garment that we make. We wear the same shirt, mate.
We are wearing the same shirt today, funnily enough, which is a compliment for me. So yeah, I just wish I had the same hair as you, mate. Because it looks unbelievable.
We're again as tall as you, mate.
Yeah. Well, you said before, you're not 5'1", so you've got that on. Yeah. So and I've seen a lot. You do a lot of work with women here as well, and you've done a lot of events with women.
Yes.
Yes. Beautiful.
So we do female tailoring now.
Yes. And what does that mainly consist of?
So we do mainly trousers and jacket.
Yes.
And then we do shirt as well for female. Yes, I got to put more mannequin for female though.
Yeah, I think so, because that's they're the ones that are going to probably give you more business as opposed to the males who.
Yeah. Oh well, I think you just have to. I think male and female, as long as if someone taking care of you.
Yes.
That's all.
And you're finding the styles now becoming a bit more casual, or people still coming in for that formal suit, or is it sort of 50-50?
So I guess the best way to answer this is back before COVID, people come to us. It's like, oh, I need to wear this, I need to wear that. Now people come to us. I want to look like this. I want to.
Yeah.
So the need become the one. And then when the one, you got a guy that really want formal, one really casual. So it really depends, but now there's no guideline.
Yes, yeah.
I think clients are now, first of all, they have more knowledge than ever.
Yes.
It's just the guy that, do what they want.
Coming into summer, it's probably tricky as well, isn't it, with this climate here?
Yes.
Like people don't want to wear big suits. They might wear a nice casual
Yes.
chino style without a belt and a polo.
Yep.
Seeing more of that sort of style now where they wear the polo.
Yes, the short sleeve.
Just short sleeve.
Yeah. I think when we come up to Brisbane, so Oscar Hunt, we're based in Melbourne as a company. When we come to Brisbane, we treat the market very similar to Japan, Korea, Singapore, where it's get a bit hot there. So we have the fabric that specialize in the heat.
Which is what's the best fabric for this climate?
Obviously linen, but linen do your head in because of the creases. But I think what I make for you was tropical wool, so the high twist wool, the open weave. Basically, if you wear that, you can feel the wind.
Yes. Okay.
I'm not sure you feel it.
I haven't felt the wind. I haven't felt the wind yet, mate. Sorry.
Maybe standing one day, get the wind go through.
Too uncomfortable, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. So I think the way you dress shouldn't be interrupt the way you interact.
Yes.
So how can you feel comfortable, just not wearing, but also comfortable in facing and talking to someone?
Yes.
Yeah.
And these events,
yes.
I know you work big hours, and I don't know how you've got the energy to put these events on, but I've seen 30, 40 people. I've driven past here on a Friday at 6 p.m. It must give you a big buzz to see so many people in here networking. And
Yes. I think event is a big part of our business. First of all, is for us to get to know new clients.
Yes.
But second of all, we want to create a network within the Oscar Hunt client. And I think also mainly my clients are business owner like yourself, and network is a big part. And the hardest job for me when we do this event is how can we curate the room that bring value, not just for us, but also
Yes.
the one that attending the events. So that's the hardest part.
Yes.
But very, very grateful that people always enjoy the event and making the time to come. So yeah, from the bottom of my heart is really appreciate it.
Well, but mate, it's not easy if you have a barbecue and get 10 people over, but you somehow manage to fill the room up you're doing these watch events and your whiskey events.
Yes.
And, I just think it's beautiful because then you can, go and show people the clothing and whatnot, but it's more about meeting, gaining trust.
Yeah.
Because, clothes and spending money, people obviously, doing it tough at the moment. So
Yes.
making a big outlay on clothes and tailoring, there is a lot of trust that goes into it.
Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, we all do great stuff, great services, great product, but the part that I work the hardest on is how can we be more than that?
Yes.
What value do we bring into a client? And client, having the relationship with the client, they look at us more than just a tailor. We have a chat. What can we do for 2025 that we discussed before?
Yes.
So I think by this activity, I'm able to, give back the value more than just a suit.
Yeah. Oh, which is exactly what you do. So
Yeah.
which you should be proud of. And moving forward, where do you see yourself, the business,
Yeah.
the latest trends? Are there any? Where do we follow the trends from here? Obviously, Melbourne is much more trendy, but are there different cities around the world where
Yep.
these areas? Obviously, it's all climatized.
I think for Brisbane, I think got to do with a lot of the heat, I suppose. So
Yes.
we wanted something airy, something light. However, the most important thing is I think Brisbane have a lot of potential. There's a lot of migration, whether interstate or international. So that formality start kicking in now. Like we have a lot, not just...
What cities do you know, like, for example, a sport,
Yes.
like a rugby league or AFL or netball, like a lot of the American, they'll try and follow a lot of the American
Yep.
trades and all
Yep.
this sort of jazz. Is there a particular city or country that we'd follow the trends, or?
I don't think Australia follow really anyone. I
Yes.
think within the brand Oscar Hunt, we pride ourselves as luxury, but we down to earth.
Yeah.
So I think when we get a client in, it's not about how can we dress like Oscar Hunt, but also how can we dress a client that you walk out and you're like, oh, that's me. And also, you got to warm up to the client. Let's say, first time you come in, we don't want to get you on, jacket, but we're like, hey, why don't we start with a simple suit?
Yeah.
I think then you work your way, and different client does have different vision of what they want
So
to see.
you sort of just work with the client more than what's in trend or whatnot.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I did that before, and you feel like you sort of pushing that to the client, but the client not comfortable because I'm not the guy that's gonna live with the clothes. It's you that gotta live with
Yes.
this clothes. So finding that common language
Yes.
with clients is my priorities when it's come to consult.
And what about like this industry in general? Obviously, retail and industries like that have been hammered because it's so easy to go online and order something.
Yes.
Where do you see it? Obviously, people, when they come and see you, it's an experience, come and get
Yes.
measured up and whatnot. Where do you see your industry the next couple of years? Do you think it's going to get harder, easier? You sort of got to work very hard to get clients, don't you?
Yes. I think the industry is moving forward. That care factor and having a genuine relationship with everything.
Yes.
Because yes, you have a brand and we work hard on the brand to be, hey, this is a good brand, they know what they're doing. That's one part of it. But on the showroom level and how can we sustain the business is you got to make that connection with your client.
Yes.
Because if you don't, yeah, you just go online, click some few buttons, get some sizes. So I think moving forward, this industry, I mean, there's a lot of big brand in Australia sort of closed down, unfortunately, because of that mindset. I have a big brand, but I just relies on it. You can't do that anymore. But yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And going backtracking to, I said, earlier, why did you move to Brisbane, permanent residency?
Yeah.
Why is it easier here?
So I think COVID down south is hard to, apply for visa. First of all, it's so many people there already. I think Brisbane has a lot of potential. I think there's more value added that I can do. So my wife and I, we decided to move to Brisbane.
Yes.
But yeah.
Good call, mate.
The
city's pumping, and where you are here,
yes,
like this is unbelievable in here. Like,
yeah,
great spot.
At the moment, yes, you travel around Queensland, Brisbane, you drive around. Yes, there are a lot of construction going around, but that's a sign of potential.
Yes.
Yeah.
And do you have any family overseas or friends that have asked you, Vin, how do we get to this beautiful country? We see you here, we see you there.
Yeah.
Are they interested, or is it just impossible now? Or
I think nothing is impossible, but case by case. I only prefer them to my migration agent, who I trust.
Yes.
And then they can chat, because I'm the kind of guy. I'm not a Mr. Know-it-all, so I don't want to advise things that I don't.
Well, that's good, because back many years ago, there used to be a lot of. I'm sure this is just a general case, but there used to be a lot of South Africans migrating.
Yep.
They a lot in Perth.
Yep.
A lot in Brisbane. I knew quite a lot, and now it's nearly impossible for them to get in.
Yep.
So I'm just wondering, case by case, it's obviously getting tricky. They're tightening the clamps, aren't they?
Yeah, case by case. I think the best way to explain to someone that want to come to Australia,
yes.
I always say, hey, it's like you go to a dinner to a friend's house, and it's a very beautiful house, and
yes.
amazing food, and you decide to stay in their house.
What, rent free or?
well, not even whether they allow you to rent, that's another issue. But for you to able to stay there and maintain your lifestyle, well, you got to add value to the country. So yeah.
Oh, 100%.
And it's hard.
Finding your space and adding value.
100%.
It's a great Corey Williams, who I started this podcast for, he always used to say, find your space, add value, keep your head down and work your ass off.
That's it.
Which is pretty much exactly what you've done. And we've talked many times and you go, man, I'm tired. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
How do you find, like if you're at a 4 p.m. appointment and you're going, man, I'm physically spent, and you've got to go and meet this fresh person to give them so how do you find the energy?
First of all, I'm very fortunate, and I said it with all my heart. I am doing what I like.
Yes.
I'm doing what I'm passionate of. It can sound very woo-woo, but I'm very lucky to say that. So I think, yes, we're all tired as we're human. So that's always, I get to do what I like. So that's, you feel lucky.
Yes.
And second time is we buy appointment, and it's hard for client to make time. And if the client making time, I may be tired, but this guy driving. So you got to show the best way possible, whether it is, in the morning or in the afternoon. You got to show that energy.
Yes, which you do. That's
You say, yeah.
Oh, it makes a difference. It's the same as for us going into a listing appointment. If you're not on the ball, you're not going to get the business. But it's hard to.
Yes.
It's hard to always be on the ball.
Yeah, I guess it's always a challenge. First of all, you're meeting a lot of people every day. You have to create a conversation every day. So I'm really thankful for asking on the question, because that's, sometimes it's really hard to come up with questions. However, I think if you believe in the services and the products that you provide, it make a difference. And that always come back to your personal and
100%.
mental.
And I think also, I talk to so many people from a day-to-day basis in different industries, but you're like, so many of these industries are so similar, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like your industry, my industry.
Yes.
Like it's the same thing. Get up. If you can exercise,
Yep.
it's going to give you the energy throughout the day. If you eat well,
Yeah.
you know, and sustaining that energy. Like tomorrow, for example,
Yeah, big day.
8, 9, 10 open homes for me tomorrow. Your day.
Back to
You
back.
probably got back-to-back 9, 10 appointments. It's the
Yes.
same sort of thing, isn't it?
It is. It is.
You've got to be organised for the day. You've got to look sharp. You've got to sleep well. You've got to
Yes.
be hydrated.
Yes.
Maybe a few coffees as well.
Good coffee. Yes. Stay. You gotta stay on point. You got to really, have that energy, have that knowledge, have that conversation. So I always tell to myself, the suit will sell itself.
Yes.
You don't have to sell the product. You just have to able to connect with the client, whoever come through the door. And the first thing that count, obviously, a lot of people say, Vinny, you look good every day. Yes, I have to.
Yes, yeah.
You go in somewhere that you want to look good, and you can't trust someone that doesn't take care of it.
Well, man, how many times have I come in here and you've been dressed up and I said, I want to look like that. And then I go back to the office and buy it and they go, what did you buy that for? I said, Vinny looked good. And they said, well, you're not a 5'2" Vietnamese guy with a flash haircut, are you? I just say, no, I'm not. They like shook their head. I'm like, remember, you're a bald 6'2" bloody, anyway. So, but you look good, mate. You look sharp and people appreciate that. And they go, this guy looks sharp and you got so many different outfits. So many different pair of, what are you, size male 3 shoes? Size 3 male shoes.
Mini shoe.
Vinny shoes. And I love that look of the socks with the shoes. Not
Yes.
many people can pull that off. What makes you do that?
I think, if I say I just put it on in the morning, that doesn't sound pretty arrogant.
It is hard to pull off that look. You know that, don't you?
You got to be, I guess, comfortable, and I think everything had to fall at the right place. For me, obviously look good, whatever. But I always say I want the showroom, the way we dress, we want to look approachable.
Yes.
How can you look clean? But also you want the guy to come in, hey, that's a good look. And you don't want people looking at you and like, that's great, but I don't feel like talking to him.
Yeah.
So there's a fine line.
Well, I've always found, everyone gives men shit who don't wear socks, even though they're wearing their sockettes.
Yeah.
But to be honest, the people who, criticize that style, I think they're jealous because they can't pull it off. And some of these people that look like that, they look amazing. That style with the legs showing. And
I do have, I think today I'm quite formal. I put my socks on, but I do have like a mini sock like that. You don't see the sock.
Yes.
And I do have people come up to me, oh man, I give you $5. This is a good story.
I give you what? 5?
So I give you $5, go you buy some socks.
Yeah, to you.
And then I was like, hey, I actually don't have undie too. Can you give me $10?
You said that?
Yeah.
How good's that? What'd they say to that?
And they just laugh.
Yeah, that's a good call. It's a cracker call.
Yeah.
It's all about the style though, isn't it? Everyone's different.
Yeah. Everyone different. Everybody have their own personality. Because I think I tell my client, when you dress up,
Yes.
right, you got 2 ways to feel that you look good. So first is your mirror. You look at it. I look great. But when you walk off from that mirror, you have your subconscious telling you that you look great. So how can we, make your subconscious say that, hey, I'm well presented. And that will just carry you throughout the day and you do what you do. It's not about checking yourself every 5 minutes.
100% being comfortable.
Yeah.
The only problem with Brisbane is we don't get to wear those nice big, those full-length trench coats that they do in Melbourne.
Yeah.
I'd love to. Is that what they call trench coats?
Yeah, coat. Yeah, overcoat. Yes.
Amazing. That's the only problem with Brisbane. I always wanted to move to Melbourne just for the style and the trends.
Yeah.
It's beautiful down there, isn't it?
I mean, you can wear them over a t-shirt and they look great. Like we do have a light coat that not as thick, but we can make that design where you can just chuck it on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah. And when, what was it talking about before, when the sort of the ladies come in and measure up,
Yes.
what sort of, I know you said they're coming in for pants and jackets
Yes.
and things. What other styles sort of changing in trend for them? What have you got that's someone else? Because there's a million other shops around.
Yes.
Is it more about that personal experience as well, or are there different materials coming out for them as well?
I think the experience is one, but also because we very focused on just tailoring. We don't do anything other, anything else. So we well known for that. So for example, trousers, we have slim cut, wide, and straight cut.
Yes.
And jacket, we got long and short. So we simplify that. I think where female comes in, they know what they're getting.
Yes.
Because if we start to get on more, we get into the female women's wear, which
is it the
there's a lot
same
more
catalog,
option.
or is it
Yes.
same catalog and materials as you'll show?
So we have,
yeah.
so that's it's just a different cut. So I think at the moment, like Oscar Hunt, we stay in our lane
Yes.
and specialize on that. But yeah.
And how often are I know we're talking about the trends change. How often does your range change? Your options.
So the option, I think in terms of design, like jacket, lapel, is almost stayed the same for the past 100 years. Fabric, we change season every 6
Really?
months.
Okay, yeah.
However, you can't ever keep up with what's going on.
Yes.
We do have new design. We have photo shoot every 6 months. So
Yes.
sometimes I travel to Adelaide or Melbourne. So you can see what's new. However, it's really come down to each of the clients.
Yes. And talk about photo shoots. That reminds me, Vin Pixel.
So
I could not believe it. A great friend of mine, his brother,
yes.
Jimmy Ellis, I saw him, and Vin Pixel was taking the photos, and then I found out you are Vin Pixel.
Yes.
So you photograph weddings as well? The odd one.
We do. No, I think when I start my photography, so
When did you start?
during COVID.
Yes.
So during COVID, I do photography. So, but mainly what I did was food photography, but because menswear wasn't a lot of brands.
Yes.
But I just do photograph there. But yeah, I mainly do editorial shoot. Like what I do right now is mostly behind the scene photo for Oscar
I really
Hunt.
like it.
Yeah.
It keeps Billy on his toes. So,
Oh,
what
don't
sort
be
of
that
camera
one.
have you got?
At the moment, I just have a Fuji, just a small Fuji carrying around.
Yeah. You know what that is, Billy? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got some cool, you probably didn't, we'll show you after the podcast, but he's got some really cool photos. And when you pop down to Melbourne, who's your boy in Melbourne?
Who's my boy? I have a lot of boys in Melbourne.
No, sorry, you're Oscar
Okay.
Hunt.
Yeah,
Vin
well,
down in Melbourne.
so we have like Josh is
Josh is the one, yeah. You're
Josh,
always
yeah.
taking photos of you and Josh. And, yeah. Straight, yeah. So he's like the equivalent to you down in Melbourne.
Well, he based in Adelaide.
Adelaide.
He's a creative director for Oscar Hunt now.
Yeah, right.
Whenever we together, the company always say, "Oh, this guy bringing the trouble."
Who, Josh or Vin?
Well, we both.
You both, mate.
Well, Josh bring more trouble.
Yeah. And Vin's there as well. Yeah.
I'm just there to support him.
Yeah. How
But
many
yes.
people are involved in the company, work for the company?
Oscar Hunt. Oh man, I would say 20, 30.
Yeah.
So we have.
And who is Oscar Hunt?
So Oscar Hunt, now you gotta put me on the ball here, on the line here. So Chris is the man behind the brand. Chris.
Yeah.
Shout out to that guy, he's a legend. So Oscar
Shout out
Hunt.
to Chris.
Yeah, shout out to Chris.
Is he Melbourne?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
Melbourne. So I think Oscar Hunt, it just come up to two names, Oscar and something Hunt. I think these guys love the name. But the idea of why Oscar Hunt but not Chris is, I think Chris always having the idea that we all work for Oscar Hunt. We all grows the brand rather than put his name on the door.
It's like, I just keep comparing. It's like Place.
Yeah.
Place Real Estate. It's not a name of a person. It's just a name that everyone works towards, which is good because as something gets bigger,
Yes.
they're saying, who's Oscar Hunt? That's just a name we had for the business.
Yes.
As opposed to selling someone's name.
Yes, and we as a company run, I think that's what I really respect the brand is we work like a team. So I got no one really tell me what to do, but we have that advisory board where we we have idea. And the best part about Oscar Hunt is within the company, we never deny a problem.
Yes.
Like we have this problem. Yes, everybody have problem. Every company has. However, this is a problem. How can we fix it? We solution focus rather than, I guess, finger point.
Yeah, that's good, mate. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, mate, we love talking to people, especially through all their journeys throughout life.
Yes.
We love people that love Australia.
Yes.
We love people more that love Brisbane.
Yes.
Which you obviously do, and you got a bit of a glim in your eye when you're thinking about Brisbane. It's a beautiful place.
Yes.
Olympics, 8 years away.
Yep.
It's going to happen now, which is good.
Yes.
The place is buzzing. It must be an exciting time for you thinking ahead. Well, for me it is. Obviously, I've lived here forever, but I just love talking to people that have been here for 5, 10, 15 years that have come here. It must be a bloody exciting time for you thinking about business and life and your wife and family down the track here.
Oh, yeah. I think Queensland in general has a lot of potential. Like I said before, when you're driving around, there's a lot of construction. And also, before I come up to Queensland, a lot of people say, oh, it's getting very cliquey.
Yes.
That's a word. But in all honesty, it's getting less cliquey now.
Yes.
Just because everybody coming from everywhere, there's a lot of new businesses
Yes.
arrive. And then I think you just have to do your own thing. You just have to hustling out there, and then there's always new doors open. There's always a new group that's opened up.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. But yes,
Yeah,
very lot of
100%.
potential.
And we're about to wrap up, but
Yes.
these events, if anyone wants to host an event, Vin, how do they host an event here?
We have a chat, so please, always love to catch up with anyone keen. Always love to know you, and I think it's just how can we value added to you.
Yes.
And yeah,
And
I think
on top of that, sorry, and then for an appointment, if they want to come in and get fitted out, obviously,
yeah,
what's the best way to reach you?
contact Ross. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not the middleman, man.
Yeah, you can always find me on Instagram, Oscar Hunt _Vinny. I'm sure you tag me in this,
Yes,
so you
yeah,
can just
we'll
say
tag-
hello
we'll
on
tag- tag you-
Instagram.
tag
I
you
got
on
my
this.
phone number on the website as well. So I'm on my phones all the time. I always
Yeah, we
get
know that,
back.
mate. That's why I had to get you off your phone to be on here. So
Yeah.
no, thank you so much, Vin. It's been a pleasure. Looking forward to working with you in the future. Not just work, but I'm a hard nut to crack myself, but I just love your energy. I love
Thank you.
your you're a good man.
Thank
You've got
you.
good values. So thanks for coming on the Arm Wrestle.
Thank you for having me. Really, really enjoyed the conversation. I hope I did well.
You did very well, mate. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Take care.